Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos of a paid request for Guillermo. Thank you so much, man, Guillermo. Thank you to everyone out there for being generous. I do apologize for the lateness of these reviews. I'm trying to do the best that I can. I know I need to do better with that, so thank you so much. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this time is Arcadian, a 2024 film, which I wanted to like more than I did. Just of the three requests, Wildman was a very... Wildman, Steen, and this one. Wildman was a low-budget, goofy, Bigfoot found footage parody. I don't know parody, but it was there for what it was. It's not the best acted. It's very cheap, but I don't know. There was kind of like a stupid charm to it. Not that great. Never see it again, but one watch, whatever. Steen, I had some issues with it, but I thought it was pretty decent. Maybe like a 3 out of 5 star movie. I like the way it was directed. This actually is my least favorite of the three. And it's one of those things where you look at the cover, you see Nicolas Cage. He's not in it a whole lot. Now, he is, but he isn't. I'll get to that in a minute. This is a first-time director, and the setup is very familiar. In this case, kind of a... I just not post-apocalyptic, but like A Quiet Place. That type of thing where these creatures have arrived, and people are living kind of out in the boonies, middle of nowhere. In this case, it's Nicolas Cage and his 2 kids. They're in their teenage years. One is a guy named Thomas who disobeys orders. He is a guy that there's a farm nearby with a teen girl. Nick Cage allows him to go there, but more and more so, he's getting back later and later. Nick Cage even warns him, hey, listen, if you're late again, going to have to take away those privileges. You're not going to let you go that far. And Nick Cage is doing it for their own good. Then you have the other one, Joseph, which I recognize the actor. He played the young Bill in the new It movies, It 2017, and the flashbacks in It Chapter 2. He played the younger Bill. Him, I didn't mind. He reminded me a little bit of Harry Potter, that actor. Which are bad with names, I already forgot him. Daniel Radcliffe. Reminds me a little bit of that. He's more of the responsible guy. He's more of the curious, analytical, trying to figure things out type of guy. And the three of them have set up this place in the middle of nowhere on this farm where they do whatever they can at night, in the daytime. There's a part where Nick Cage is teaching one of the kids how to drive, which of course that's going to come into play later. But then at nighttime, they lock everything up because there's these creatures out there that come at night because the daylight hurts them. So it's only at nighttime. Something you've seen in a lot of these type of movies. Again, A Quiet Place, that terrible movie, It Comes at Night. Which at least there's stuff that actually comes at night. There is just boredom. Unless maybe it's the tax man. Because whoever made that, you would better spend your money paying the taxes than watching that. It Comes at Night. Yeah, I came in my... I come at night too. But that's personal business. That's not for you to know. It Comes at Night. Okay, I like this more than that movie. Just nothing happened in that movie. Except me want to blow my brains out. But, okay, the first half of the film is setting up who these characters are And when I say send them up, again, it's what I just described. Joseph being analytical, studying the patterns. We heard these noises. We heard 3 sets of noises. One, they're testing it. The second, they were trying to get and beat down the door. Third, as if they were mad, had one last hit and left, knowing that these creatures seem a bit smarter than just a regular animal. While Thomas, when he goes over and sees the girl, they'll play games like Craft the Apocalypse. You have 10 seconds to come up with a theory on how this came to be and where these creatures came from. And like I said, Nick Cage doesn't really have a whole lot to do. He's much more of a subtle, much more of a mellow Nick Cage. And here's the thing, I've liked a decent amount of films Nicolas Cage has been in recently. I know he did a lot of movies because he had a lot of issues with money, but it kind of worked out in his favor because when he's doing so many, he comes across something that is at least interesting, or a gem. Mandy, I would call a gem. Willy's Wonderland, I would call a gem. Not the gym you pump up, I mean like a gem, like, oh, Willy's Wonderland, Mandy, I really enjoyed. I Don't Mind Colors Out of Space, that was interesting. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, I thought was pretty good. Even Pay the Ghost, while it does have some iffy effects in the third act, I like the setup, I like the story, I liked Nick in it. But Pay the Ghost I thought was interesting. Story-wise. This, other than an opening, which is kind of him with a backpack in a city, we're following him, very handheld, and we see that something's happened to the city, and he's trying to escape, and he gets to his 2 babies, and you have this one shot where he's looking over, you see the city not in the best of shape. Decent looking shot. Decent looking effect. But I say it's pretty much mundane. Where, hey, keep it easy. We gotta do our jobs. Then teaching the one kid how to drive. And dealing with this pot of piss ant called Thomas. Disruptive. I hated this character. I hated this character. I get it. You're lonely. You're horny. Whatever the case may be. Jerk the dirt in behind the curtain. I don't care. You put yourself more and more in danger. And not only that, but you put other people in danger. And then some stuff you do later really made me hate this character. I wish the character had died off. For his incompetence and stupidity. Because to get more into spoilers, after, the slow burn, once again, yet again, Joseph stays out way too late. When him and the brother are supposed to be going around getting stuff, Nick Cage is like, where's your brother? And Thomas is like, I don't know. He went off to see that girl who's with her family on another farm. It's getting dark out. Nick Cage gets his supplies, goes after him. Joseph stayed way too late. Thomas, sorry. I don't know why I'm doing that. Just I hate this guy, man. Thumb up his ass. But I get it. You're horny. There's the girl. But at the same time, there's these creatures, and we see how these creatures are. Why would he even take a flimms of a chance? Just wait until tomorrow and say, hey, or can I go there at one point at 8 a.m., 7 a.m.? Okay, please. At least one day a week. With the way Nick Cage's character is, I think he'd be okay at least one day a week. Hey, one day to get the dick wet? Okay. Better than how some people do nowadays. Without an apocalypse. So it's way too late, and he's running, and he crashes through, and he's in this cave, and Nick Cage finds him. And he's like, we gotta be here for the night. If we try to go out there, we'll die. Secure the cave. Then they realize the creatures are coming from underneath. Nick Cage creates this little bomb thing, blows a piece of it up. And you don't see much of the creatures. I thought it was effective enough. You only see their claws. Back at their house, Joseph is asleep in a chair, and you see this wide shot of a hand going through, and then his claws, and the way the claws extend more and more and more and more. I thought that was a nice, creepy, effective scene. Then you kind of find out it was part of a trap, where the kid was faking it, trapped the thing in order to want to study it. So that was pretty smart of Joseph to do. But then, of course, he notices, wait a minute, the dad didn't come back. Where's my brother? He drives off, finds them, brings Nick Cage back. This is about 45 minutes to the movie. It's about an 80, 90-minute movie. From then on, Nick Cage is in a bed, doing nothing, until he gets up and does like 2 or 3 things. And that's all she wrote. You have Nick Cage front and center on the poster. It's more about these 2 kids. One is alright. The other is an annoying pissant. And then when they bring the dad home and they put Nick Cage in bed and, he's out of it and he, passes out. Tom is like, oh yeah. He takes credit for killing most of them. And he didn't do squat. And even Joseph is going, really? You did? Yeah. The fact that it's your fault that your dad's messed up. It's your fault your dad's arm is hurt. It's your fault that you were out there and came back too late. Now you're taking credit for killing some of them when you didn't do nothing? Get a gun, a shotgun, blow your head off. Please. And then he's like, oh, this is too much. I'm going to go to that girl's place again. I'm going to stay with that family. Because they go there first to get supplies, which, with how many people are here, they get 1 or 2 pieces of medicine supply they could give, and then not worry about all this trouble. But no. They're like, which is funny. They won't give the little bit of medicine to this family, but they will allow the boy, the teen Thomas, to stay with them. Which you would think the amount of stuff he would use, food, water, whatever, I think that would be a lot more supplies he'd be taking up than just you giving some medicine, they go back in their merry fucking way. I did they do it because the daughter likes him, but at the same time, like, which is going to wipe out supplies more? Thomas staying with you, or just give a few pieces of medicine, and then they go back home. And then Thomas stays with them, letting Joseph take care of his dad all by himself. And even Joseph and Thomas get in a fight, and Thomas is choking, and I'm like, no, it should be around. I'm getting the names. But Joseph should be choking Thomas until he's a Smurf. More so, purple people eater. Because Thomas sucks. Thomas the Tank Engine sucks. Well, actually, no, that's an insult, Thomas the Tank Engine. Better than this. I wish it was Thomas the Tank Engine. He'd roll over this Thomas's ass. You don't use my name, or a freight train goes in your face. So he stays with his other family while his brother has to take care of the dad on his own. This guy sucks. He sucks. You do nothing to help the dad when he saved your sorry ass, and it's your fault in the first place. Now they try to mend that where eventually Thomas tries to get some supplies and is going to leave to go back to his dad. Some could say he was doing that all along. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. It's hard for me to believe that the way it's been done so far, that Thomas was this smart to think that far ahead. It felt more like he was enjoying his time than he felt guilty than he did, as he should. The adults find him trying to take some stuff. They tie him up and they're going to like shoot him or shoot his leg. I'm sitting there going, I get it, because humans are bad, humans are evil. But I'm like, just seemed a bit too much. But I mean, it's the apocalypse. People do stupid things. And medicine don't grow on trees. And then the creatures come out. They're able to be underground. They dug in and they come up and they start plucking people left and right. So by this point, we're like an hour into the movie. We're getting to the finale. And really all that's happened is Thomas is horny, wants his dick wet. Nick Cage got the babies at the beginning, taught someone how to drive, and helped the stupid teen, save him in this cave. Which, with the handheld and how dark it was, at times I couldn't see what the hell was going on. Sorry, I don't know. Didn't know my eyes needed thermal imaging to be able to see. What is AVP Requiem? Don't need night vision on my eyeballs to be able to see your movie. I shouldn't. But maybe that would have been better, because then you see the creatures. I appreciate trying to have a unique, different design of a creature. And they are, so it's creative. I give credit to how creative it is. It's like they're like anorexic giraffe, werewolf, all done CGI. But imagine like a shape of a giraffe, thin, but fur like a werewolf, but the head's like a dinosaur bird, where it will, or like a dinosaur raptor bird head. And then when it tries to bite, it'll go like a machine gun, like a chihuahua, or a chihuahua with a machine gun, with his mouth, as if it's one of the damn landoliers. And then, if they get together, they'll roll in a ball like Critters 2, the main course. I'm sitting there going, any one or two of these things, maybe. But put them all together and done with very spotty CGI. I appreciate the creativity. This really felt like a everything in the kitchen sink mentality, though. Like, we gotta have these creatures be different. Okay. But they just look goofy. Silly and goofy. I don't see how anyone would be scared of these things. They're too goofy looking. They're too silly looking. Maybe if there was some practical effects, at least some of the wide shots. But especially when it did the machine gun with his mouth. Like, I can't even do it fast enough. It was like faster than that. It's like... that's my reaction. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And again, just have the way it looks, fine, and then it can burrow and dig and is smart enough to do that, fine. You didn't need the machine gun mouth, and you didn't need them coming together and rolling like a critter ball. And maybe use some practical effects. Not all CGI. Maybe early on you see like a claw, but I mean like this is all CGI here. So it kills, the people there. The Thomas and the girl run off. They get to their place where Joseph is there. They board everything up. They're like, hey, they don't dig under us like they did there. They wake up Nick Cage. Nick Cage says, we fight. The two teens like kill maybe two of them. Then they're going back. They're going to hide in this like fridge thing. They set up. They're going to incinerate the place. Nick Cage tries to shoot through the floor. Tries to fight some of them off. He locks the door. Self-sacrifice. Comes up. Place blows up. Then the two kids and the girl get in their car. They're chased by the fiery CGI creatures all together. Like, imagine they're all like this, all together, wrapped around a circle. Like Mr. Fantastic, if he went into a barrel roll. It just looked ridiculous. I mean, I can appreciate the creativity, but it's like, oh man, it looked ridiculous. It looked really silly, really damn goofy, man. It really did, at least to me. I'm like, what the hell is this? And they get away, and then they pretty much make a grave for their dad. The three of them and their dog drive off, and the movie's over. So yeah, the first half is very reminiscent of A Quiet Place, a lot of other movies you would see of this nature. Nick Cage doesn't have a whole lot to do. Halfway through, he's pretty much in bed for most of the film. Till he gets up, does two things, and self-sacrifice, dies. The two teens, one was okay, the other, like I said, was a disruptive pissant. I didn't really care about him and his lovey-dovey bit with the girl. The carnage, the creature, you really don't see much of gore. Much of any gore that I remember. And the creatures, while they're creative and design, because of everything, the catch and sing mentality and the really dodgy CGI, it just comes off very silly, very ridiculous. I wish there was some practical effects incorporated into that. That could have helped. That could have helped. At least some of it. I know you can't do all of it, because movies can't. And I know it's a lot tougher to do that, to have it move quick and fast for practical. I understand that. But at least like some close-up shots or some medium shots interspersed with the CG, at least. They don't do that. So yeah, this I did not like. I thought, okay, it's a Nicolas Cage creature feature film. That could be cool. But very little Nick Cage. The creatures you really see mostly at the third act. And again, the design is interesting. That's all I can say positive about them, though. Especially the machine gun mouth, I think, is really what killed it for me. That, like, come on. But anyway, with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.